problems here.
The corner in from Tibblecoff's corner. Jackie Raymond, the referee, is trying to stop it. The cornerman's down. Jackie Raymond is now fighting with one of the cornermen. The fight will have to win. Jackie Raymond throwing it.
Boxers and fighters often tend to get carried away due to their high testosterone levels and adrenaline rush. And this is when referees come in clutch to calm things down and talk sense into the fighters.
Oh, now he's gone, and the referee brings him to the ground.
But what happens when the referees themselves lose control and make the boxers finish third in the match? We are here with a compilation of such incidents, so better buckle up, because this is going to be a wild ride. The referee gives us a tutorial on how to handle an overgrown man-child. The two combatants were in their mode of punching and dodging, and their lack of awareness caused them to hang up on the ring. The referee repeatedly alerted them, but one of the boxers went berserk and started thrashing his opponent when he was down on the ground. This disrespect to the rules caused the referee to pull back the boxer while almost getting hit on the face by his elbow. The referee succeeded in separating the two, but instead of cooling down, the boxer, with his decision-making abilities of a 3-year-old, once again lunged at his opponent. By this point, the referee has had enough of his shenanigans and held him by his neck while the boxer looked like a troubled child getting schooled by his dad. Another referee entered the ring and assisted in putting the boxer to the ground. However, this next footage gets even more wilder. We get two young kids going up against each other, with the bigger one clearly outweighing the shorter kid. The big guy is able to easily dodge those punches, and while doing so, he does not leave a single chance to troll his opponent. But seemingly, the big guy gets carried away a bit too much in his flamboyance, and while having a conversation with the referee, he ends up attacking him too. The referee was able to defend himself from it. Meanwhile, the shorter guy comes into the picture, probably with the intention to take revenge for what the referee had just faced. But in an astonishing turn of events, we see the referee getting all charged up, pushing aside the shorter kid and taking on to the big one face to face, as if saying that this fight is mine now. He hits the kid with a right hook, and soon both of them find themselves outside the ring brawling in the crowd. Absolute mayhem. While they might have found their match in each other, what happens when the referee finds himself heavily outmatched to dominate over the bullies? In this clip, when the referee tries to stop this Baldy the Boulder from breaking the rules, he acts like a douchebag, pushing the referee aside and continuing with his barrage of punches. This action of the fighter intimidated the referee, who still with all his might tries to stop the fight. The fighter might have went on to behave like this had it not been for the off-camera silent observer who decided to teach some values to this spoiled brat. This silent observer was another referee who entered the ring and body-slammed the Baldy in a flash, putting an end to his tyrannical rule. Unlike this one, the next clip that you are going to see is the reason why anyone should think twice before disobeying the referee. It was a UK MMA amateur bout held in May 2014 between Matthias Frederick and Ahmed Aswad, refereed by Leon Roberts.
He's out, he is out cold. He is out. Leon Roberts.
Both the fighters fought well against each other, everything smooth sailing, nothing suspicious at all. Suddenly, with about 40 seconds left in the first round, Frederick caught Aswad with a left hook on his chin, putting his lights off. Seeing this, referee Leon darted across the cage to call a halt to the action, but Frederick refused to comply and back off, instead staying atop Aswad while attempting to add further damage to the already knocked out fighter. However, Frederick did not come prepared for what was about to happen next. The referee Leon Roberts was trained in jiu-jitsu, and as the situation demanded, his instincts kicked in. The quick-thinking Roberts then jumped up on his back, hooked Frederick's legs, and rendered him defenseless. Mind it, he never hurt him. It was only a rear-naked chokehold, just without the chokehold part. He kept Frederick locked in for some seconds until Frederick realized how deep into the trouble he could get if he tries anything silly. He kept onto the hold until other referees came in to assist and get the situation under control. We have an old-school boxing match, and the referee we are going to talk about goes by the name James Bruno. While you might think of it as just another casual incident that happened in the heat of the fight, the backstory of it is what holds the actual juice. The event in perspective here was called Monday Night Raw, with its obvious inspiration being WWE, and was held between the years 1997 and 2004 at Lauderdale Beach, Florida. The fight nights were quite amusing as the format itself was wild. People from the crowd were allowed to sign up for a fight, which could be either in the boxing format or a hardcore match similar to MMA. Since the crowd itself consisted mostly of thugs, punks, bikers, gang members, ex-convicts, and some degenerates, of course, they all casually rode their high horses as the self-proclaimed tough guys. And no, it was not just a high on testosterone event, the women equally took part in them. The format was such that no matter who you were, you could be matched up against anyone. Then, be it Pee Wee Herman or Mike Tyson himself, there was nothing holding them back. This was what led to frequent brawls and mishaps. According to James Bruno himself, in the almost 200 matches which he refereed in the event, he got punched numerous times, not just in his face, but also in his guts, thighs, groins, and many other places below the belt. But these are just puny scratches when compared to the times someone spat a bloody mouthpiece on him or him getting bitten twice, one of them being from a stripper with braces. Not to forget, he was also chased out of the ring once. All of these instances slowly and steadily piled up the anger within James, waiting to be exploded on the slightest trigger. And that trigger came at this very moment when James tried to separate the two boxers and, in the attempt, accidentally knocked down one of the guys. James understood his mistake and acknowledged it by apologizing to the guy and patting him on the headgear. However, that guy had already made up his mind to retaliate, and thus, in an enraged manner, mushed the referee's head and told him to go f yourself. This was the limit of James's patience, and he promptly replied with what later got famous by the name from hell. When that guy went down on the ground, the other boxer tried to unfairly use the situation to his advantage, but as a responsible referee, James intervened and stopped him. The one who refused to step back, though, was the guy who just got chokeslammed. He was adamant to prove himself as the tougher one, even though he just got humbled in front of everyone. But he was not in the mood to let go of the embarrassment he had to deal with. On the other hand, the referee was not going to let the bully slide with his behavior either, and so he stood his ground, squaring up to the guy. We could have got one hell of a show that day if it were not for the mindful behavior of his coaches in the corner who pulled him back at the right time. However, all of these clips turn pale when compared to not a fight, but a brawl that took place in the following clip. The footage is from a 1982 boxing match held for the title of the Australian super welterweight at the Sydney Opera House between Alex Temelkov and Ken Salisbury. The match was being refereed by Charky Ramone, one of Australia's greatest unfulfilled boxing talents who was getting back in the ring after his career was cruelly ended owing to a shoulder injury during surfing. Ramone won 31 out of 33 fights with one draw before retiring at the age of 23. When you have these stats at hand, things are sure going to short-circuit if you step on the wrong wire. And so it happened. The place experienced some moments of peace before a full-fledged war broke out. Chaos erupted when Salisbury's trainer, Bernie Hall, grabbed Temelkov's head, and the very next moment you'd get to see a flying Temelkov's brother across the ring before he delivered an unsuccessful flying kick to Hall's head. From there, all hell broke loose. As a struggling Ramone managed to separate Temelkov's brother and Hall, the brother soon got indulged with Salisbury, hitting him twice with a right hook. When Ramone pulled him aside, he too got attacked by him. But Ramone soon reminded him of his forgotten legacy with some uppercuts and hooks, rightly putting Temelkov's brother in place. Within a matter of minutes, the whole arena got filled with coaches, referees, judges, and spectators alike who all with their personal agendas started hitting whomever they had a personal vendetta with. More than 20 people were involved in the brawl. This fight surely goes down as one of the most controversial fights in the history of boxing. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like and share it. Also, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to keep getting regular updates. Thank you.